Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emanuela Romena-Meady, and I am the Secretary for the Board of Directors for the U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to our virtual Minority Small Business Conference and Expo. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you here, and I thank you for your support. Please welcome the very first speaker of our event, a very committed and hardworking founder and president of this organization, Mr. Hans Patrick Domersa. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to our virtual Minority Small Business Conference and Expo. It is my honor and pleasure to have you with us today as we kick off 2021 with this virtual event. As some of you know, the U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce hosts the Haitian American Business Expo and Job Fair to support and promote the Haitian businesses in Massachusetts. We do that every year. But given the current pandemic and how COVID-19 has impacted minority-owned businesses, by extending this year our annual expo to the minority business community at large. Very pleased to join forces with so many amazing organizations that are doing great work to support small businesses in Massachusetts. I would like to thank our community partners, Amplifylatinx, Commonwealth Kitchen, Boston Impact Initiative, SBA Massachusetts, the Operational Services Division, the Mayor's Office of Economic Development Boston, Union Capital, Small Business Strong, Haitian American United, Optima Entrepreneur Cooperative, Center for Women in Enterprise, Massachusetts LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce, and the Authentic Caribbean Foundation. Without them, this event would not have been possible. I would like to also take this moment to thank our sponsors, MGCC and Berkshire Bank, for their contribution and support. We hope that this event will serve as a platform to encourage economic equity in Massachusetts and provide resources and opportunities for minority-owned businesses. Now, without any further ado, it's my pleasure and honor to welcome Secretary Mike Kinnelly, who is a great ally to the minority business community in Massachusetts. Secretary Kinnelly will be speaking and sharing the great work that his office and Governor Baker and Polito administration have been doing to support businesses in Massachusetts. Welcome, Secretary Kinnelly.
Well, thank you so much, Hans Patrick. Great to be with you all today. I'm so thrilled to be here to spotlight the importance of our small businesses for our economy and our economic recovery, and to kick off this virtual small business conference and expo. Governor Baker sends his best to all of you. I bring greetings from our entire team, and we just applaud your initiative in having this conference to give our incredible minority-owned small businesses an opportunity to network and to learn. I also want to give a shout out to all the organizations who joined forces with you today to make this two-day conference possible. I think you named all of them. I don't want to forget anyone, so I won't call you all up by name. But your commitment to your member businesses and to entrepreneurs throughout COVID-19 has just been outstanding and inspiring, and great to be part of the program with you today. And we've tapped into so many of these same organizations as we approached our reopening plan back in the spring, and as we've tried to get funding into the hands of those who need it most and who will put that funding to work in our neighborhood economies. Last October, we announced a comprehensive plan to stabilize and grow the Massachusetts economy. The plan is called Partnerships for Recovery, and it focuses on really 5 things: getting people back to work, supporting small businesses, fostering innovation, revitalizing downtowns, and ensuring housing stability. Prior to this current downturn, the Massachusetts economy was strong. But even then, there were people and communities not able to share in that prosperity and growth. And COVID-19 has only made those gaps more pronounced. For too many minority small business owners and entrepreneurs, the playing field simply has never been level. and enhancing access to capital and space and networks for women and minority-owned businesses, along with other ways to address some of the core needs of underserved communities. That was already part of our agenda prior to the pandemic, and we certainly have redoubled those efforts since then. I think what you're doing here today with this conference is really sharpening the critical tools in the business owner's toolkit and making new opportunities available to businesses owned and operated by people of color, women, and other underrepresented groups. And this is so critically important right now at this time in our economy. And while our main streets and downtown business districts have begun to spring back to life, we know we're now in a winter surge, and there will be many challenging months still to come. I want to point out a few things we've tried to do now to help out our small businesses and really to help generate economic growth amidst the pandemic and to support our main streets across Massachusetts. The administration launched a $668 million business relief program just before Christmas. This is to supplement $50 million that was already made available. And so far, we've awarded nearly $200 million in grants to more than 1,400 small businesses. Perhaps to some of you attending today, this is through the Mass Growth Capital Corporation. I do want to express my thanks and appreciation for strategic partnerships with business groups and community organizations like BECMA, Amplifylatinx, MACDC, LISC, and many others. And thanks to those partnerships, the first awards we announced for the grant program were all to companies that were minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned, LGBTQ-owned, or owned by individuals with disabilities. 100% of the grants went to those companies. And likewise, half of the businesses now in the next round of grants are also owned by minority entrepreneurs. And perhaps most importantly for all of you, the applications are currently being accepted for a new sector-based program, and grants up to $75,000 will be awarded to the hardest hit small businesses. So we know it's been an incredibly challenging time, to say the least, for our small companies, and we want to be at the table with capital to help get them through this period of time. These funds can be used to cover a number of expenses such as payroll and benefit costs, mortgage interest, rent, utilities, interest on other debts. Businesses in need should visit empoweringsmallbusiness.org. That's the website for Mass Growth Capital Corporation to find the applications for those grants. But please do so shortly, as the deadline to apply is tomorrow at midnight, and there is capital available for additional grants. I also want to mention the fact that as part of our recovery plan, our initiative is additional funding for small business technical assistance. So we want to be providing capital. We also want to provide assistance and to help ensure that those who need support the most, and those perhaps who have not been able to access federal assistance, can receive the help they need. Some of this will be geared specifically towards helping technical assistance providers to support businesses on the digital side of their operations. We're seeing Main Street companies that have operated a physical location for a long time, but perhaps did not have a robust online offering, and we want to be helpful in that regard as well. We've also been very proud through Mass Growth Capital Corporation, in partnership with MACDC, to stand up the COVID-19 Small Business Stabilization Network, going really back to the early days of the pandemic, working with 50 small business technical assistance providers across the Commonwealth to help our small businesses with hands-on assistance. And, as I wrap up here today, I just want to say, as always, how amazed I've been by the resilience of the Massachusetts small business community during this pandemic. In just immensely difficult times, we've seen small businesses step up to protect their employees and care for their customers and communities again and again. And I can't thank you enough for the role that you've played as a business owner, as an anchor in your community under just the absolute most taxing circumstances. So thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this exciting event. This is a perfect example of starting the work of leveling the playing field and giving all of our companies the tools to stabilize during this pandemic and grow their businesses in the future. These learning opportunities and networks are critical, not just now during the pandemic, but throughout our economic recovery and the new normal to come. So thank you. It is truly great to be with you all today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Kinnelly. Now, the next person that I would like to introduce is from the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. Please welcome Director of Small Business, Natalia Erdebe. Welcome, Natalia.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. On behalf of Mayor Walsh, I'm thrilled to participate in this virtual Minority Small Business Conference and Expo. As was previously mentioned, my name is Natalia Urtubey, and I have the distinct honor to serve as the Mayor's Director of Small Business under the leadership of Chief of Economic Development, John Barrows. I want to thank Secretary Kinnelly for your continued dedication to small businesses. I'd also like to thank the U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce for putting this event together, along with all of the incredible partners, Commonwealth Kitchen, Boston Impact Initiative, Score Boston, Amplifylatinx, Small Business Strong, and the Massachusetts LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy and the fabric of our neighborhoods. Business owners in Boston are our neighbors and our families. Small businesses, especially those owned by Black and Brown people, women, and immigrants, have been hit hardest by this pandemic. And we at the City of Boston have been committed to supporting you, and we will continue to do so moving forward. We have seen your innovation from shifting quickly to online and digital platforms and shifting to delivery services. And we love your grit, your motivation, and passion. We thank you for fighting for your businesses, not just in Boston's neighborhoods, but across the Commonwealth and the region. Our office from the very first day of the pandemic has been working tirelessly to get much needed cash into the hands of our businesses. Mayor Walsh has allocated more than $26 million in resources for small businesses, from waiving fees and providing technical assistance to issuing grants. To date, my office has issued more than $14.6 million to more than 4,000 businesses, with thousands of dollars going out every week. Of those, 53% has gone to immigrant-owned businesses. We've held more than 50 workshops in many languages to help people access resources, technical assistance, and other supports. Every single week since the beginning of the pandemic, we have held a small business conference call that is also with interpretation in multiple languages. We have held office hours that have gone virtual. We are here to support small businesses across Boston. But our work is not done. We need you to help us spread the word about all of these incredible resources, like the MGCC grant that Secretary Kinnelly just mentioned, as well as the City of Boston resources around housing, food access, and health supports, and other grants that are available. We need you to help us connect with immigrant-owned businesses all over the Commonwealth. And we need you to connect with us about how we can continue to support you. Every single one of the relief efforts that the City of Boston has put forward since the beginning of the pandemic is rooted in engagement with business owners, from hearing from you about what you need to be supported during this pandemic. As we look to a brighter future in the City of Boston, we want all of you to be a part of it, and we need you to keep fighting. Mayor Walsh was saddened that he was unable to join us today, but wanted me to share his best wishes for all of you and for this amazing event, and let you know that he, as a son of immigrants, holds your stories very close to his heart every single day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Thank you for being here. As we proceed, I just wanted to let you know that when undertaking a major event like this, one of the very important things is support. Support is key. And without our community partners, it would be quite difficult to bring this event to fruition. So we are very thankful for our community partners. The community partner I would like to introduce at this time is Rosario Uberia Manaya. I apologize if I mispronounced that, Rosario, but Rosario is a partner that is the executive director at Amplifylatinx. Thank you, Rosario. Please correct me if I mispronounced your name.
No, thank you. You did wonderful with the pronunciation. It is such a pleasure to be here with you today on behalf of Amplifylatinx as a community partner. We are proud of this partnership and the work that we have done together. For those of you that don't know Amplifylatinx, we are a nonpartisan collaborative movement, and our mission is to build Latino economic and political power by significantly increasing Latino civic engagement, economic opportunity, and leadership representation across sectors. Back in 2018, we launched the Power Up initiative to further the work on economic opportunity as one of our priority areas. And the goal of this initiative is to create visibility for Latinx-owned businesses and meaningful connecting them to existing resources and opportunities, and to support a pathway to a scale. At that point, when we launched this initiative, that was really important for us to continue scaling our businesses. We launched the first and only Latinx business directory in Massachusetts, and we continue growing it. But of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic, the economic crisis and racial reckoning that has put many of the disparities of the Black and Brown communities in full display, some of our work has to pivot. And all of these challenges has really underscored the urgency of increasing economic mobility and representation of the state's diverse talent and decision-making tables that take on the complex challenges ahead. So investing in minority majority talent and leadership representation and entrepreneurship is essential to the economic growth and innovation of the Commonwealth. We truly believe that under Amplifylatinx mission. So we have been a convener and a connector and an influencer in making sure that we are addressing not only the issues of the Latino community as one of our priorities, but for the Black and Brown communities in general. We have grown our network to over 4,000 members, and we work with more than 150 community partners like those ones that are on the panel today. And through our work with Power Up, we work with over 250 Latino businesses. So in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we joined forces with the key partners here to evaluate the service gaps and offer recommendations for the sector's sustainability and growth. And we launched virtual programming and webinars to really tackle the basic needs of our Black and Brown businesses, and also provided resource guides to support the Latino community. And we continue to advocate for funding and technical assistance for Latino-owned businesses with many of the partners on the Expo today. We continue offering this assistance not only for applying for the PPP loans, also the NGCC grants that were mentioned, but also collecting and presenting crucial data to continue creating awareness about the needs of the minority-owned businesses in Massachusetts. These include surveys in collaboration with Mass Inc., where we are assessing the pandemic's impact on the health and the economic well-being of Latinos in Massachusetts and the ongoing needs of the small businesses for the recovery phase. One of the programs that I do want to highlight that we are launching this year in collaboration with Enterprise Center at Salem State University and Surfside Capital Advisors is to offer assistance to Merrimack Valley Latino Business Recovery Program for close to 12 Latino Main Street businesses, such as restaurants, retailers, bodegas, barbershops, these micro businesses that need so much support, especially for the pivoting phases. So if you are interested in more information, please don't hesitate to contact me to connect with Amplifylatinx for the technical assistance support and the different programs that we have launched. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosario. Our next community partner is Alana Pinero, the Executive Director at Boston Impact Initiative. Aliana?
Hello, it's Aliana. Yes, hello everyone. My name is Aliana Pinero, and I am the Impact Director at Boston Impact Initiative. I'd like to thank the U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce for inviting us to this expo and conference, and really applaud the efforts to get us all together to provide resources to small businesses that really need it in thinking about how they're going to move forward in 2021. Also really pleased to be on this panel with many community partners, including Amplifylatinx, and of course, Secretary Kinnelly and Natalia from the mayor's office, who we have worked closely with and benefited, from many of their programs, our portfolio companies benefiting from their programs. So Boston Impact Initiative is an impact investor in Boston. We are focused on economic justice, especially in Eastern Massachusetts. We invest in businesses that create opportunities for either business owners of color or BIPOC communities that they work in. And our mission is to close the racial wealth divide in Eastern Massachusetts. We've been around since 2017, providing what we call integrated capital, equity investments, debt investments in the form of flexible loans, and even small grants to meet entrepreneurs where they are and support them through their journey of building their business. As we've heard today already on the call, and as we know, BIPOC business owners have been some of the hardest hit by the economic repercussions of COVID-19. And our portfolio companies, we work with about 30 portfolio companies right now, were hard hit, bakeries and childcare centers and other types of businesses, even manufacturing. Everyone was really pretty hard hit. And so we thought about how do we wrap our arms around our community. And so we reached out to donors and supporters and ended up raising $250,000 that provided and has been providing relief, including loan payment forgiveness and restructuring of the loans that we have out to our companies. We also raised $125,000 for one-time payments directly to workers who were laid off from our companies during the shutdown. And we've provided deep technical assistance to our portfolio companies to really navigate, everything from understanding how their business is affected by the shutdowns and how they might pivot to open up new lines of business or focus on areas of business that they hadn't before. And additionally, we've worked hard to help businesses navigate all of the different opportunities that are out there for them, including SBA loans, PPP loans, the grants from Mass Growth Community Capital and the state of Massachusetts, the city of Boston grants, and just making sure that they were aware that these opportunities and these resources were available to them. And so we've spent a lot of time and effort and care and love on our portfolio, but I'd like to say that we are continuing to invest. And so we've closed a few deals in the last couple of months and are continuing to look for BIPOC business owners that are either starting something new or looking to expand their business or pivoting their businesses. And so really encourage all of you, to keep on your business plans. Don't get discouraged because there are people out there like all of us on this panel who are looking to support you. Thank you all, and I'm really looking forward to this conference. And I'll turn it back over to the moderator. Thank you, Emanuela.
You're welcome, and thank you, Aliana. At this time, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their busy schedules to come and speak to the small business community. This concludes the opening session of our event. I just want to remind you to double check our agenda to see the various workshops that we have to offer. Please join the workshops, visit the exhibitors. We also have two very informative conferences scheduled for this afternoon at 4 p.m. and again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Please visit the agenda and join us and browse our platform. Thank you, and I wish everyone well. Thanks again on behalf of the U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce and all of our community partners. Have a great day.